80 trillion and one, CB2 here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I get into my stock breakdown, which is not going to take long, I want to introduce the channel. So thank you for clicking on the link. I very much appreciate you. The purpose of the channel is to get those who are weary of investing, baseline beginners, people who have heard of the market, they've heard of these other financial channels, the most popular ones, the least popular ones, people are trying to sell them on something. They've heard of Forex, they heard of the New York Stock Exchange, etc. My goal is to get everyone in the market, even if you don't have a crazy amount of information on it, because I myself started that same way a few years ago. I invested in companies that I heard of before, that I know exist, and I didn't know much about. Some of them garnered me good returns, some of them didn't, right? I just happened to get lucky when I started investing a few years ago and picked some pretty good companies, right? But now I have a different focus. So this channel here is specific to industrials and materials. That segment, more industrials than materials, because I am in love with those two sectors. Those are my sectors. I'm interested in the things that build the things. So I'm not so much interested in EVs. I'm not so much interested in batteries. I'm not so much interested in the end result as I am the beginning. Now, of course, I'm going to invest throughout all industries, but this channel, all sectors. But this channel here is going to focus on industrials mostly, probably 80-90%, and a few materials here sprinkled throughout. But my goal is to get everyone watching. If you're not invested in the market, invested in the market. And if you are invested in the market, introduce you to some industrials, introduce you to some material stocks that you might take a look at. Some good dividends, some good returns, good companies, and hopefully I can help you with that. So, want to make the intro. I'm going to keep that in there. Going to make the introduction brief. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get right to it. I have in front of me now all the information. I'm looking right at my sheets I have right here now. You got to pardon that. But I'm human, so I'm going to keep all of this in the video. Every single thing. The company I'm going to start with is Caterpillar, right? Ticker symbol CAT. Now, this company is pretty old. 1925, California, which definitely has something to do with the gold rush. But hey, we'll let you all go forward with that. I'm not going to use the expansive jargon of, and try to get you to invest. I'm not here to say, oh, well, the technicals and everything, very, very important. All that stuff is very important. But I really want for baseline investors, people who have no idea about the market. They don't know that Lucky Charms and Reese's Pieces are owned by General Mills, right? The people in that lane, people in that group of people. I want for everybody, get involved. If you don't know, you could seek financial help, or, YouTube, this platform here is free. So you could, do your research here on YouTube. That's how we all start. So, of course, people are going to tell you, well, don't go right to YouTube to get all of your information. It's a great platform. I'm putting this video on YouTube, mistakes and all, because I want you to entrust in me, since, hey, maybe he knows what he's talking about. So maybe I can get in the market, being that, CB2 is not an expert, right? He's not a fiduciary. He's not licensed. He's just a regular, what they will call retail investor. He's just somebody who has money in the market. He does his research. He does hours and hours of research on a company before putting a dime in there. And that's just some quick internet searches, right? So he's not someone that's, going to promise me a certain return on something. He's not going to promise me that so much money is going to be made. Good companies yield good results. You do have technology companies and companies in various industries that make a lot of money year over year. I want you to invest in those companies only if you feel comfortable and only if you know enough to invest. Right now, today is the 9th of March, 2021. The markets this past week have been crazy, right? Honestly, in my opinion, what a better time to get in, because there is a discount on a lot of great companies right now. But again, this channel focuses on industrials and materials. The other channels will focus on technology and other popular sectors at the moment. But because I have a deep appreciation and fascination with industrials and materials, I'm going to break down different stocks in those industries. So let's get back to Caterpillar. Ticker symbol CAT, 1925 in California. So they started off great. It's a good company. You see Caterpillar everywhere, specifically now in the southern regions of the country, and we'll get to that later. You see houses being built all the time, businesses going up. What does that mean? That means that people are moving to those areas. People are potentially moving to those areas, or businesses are making enough money to add another wing to their business. So you've seen a Caterpillar excavator. You've seen a Caterpillar forklift. You've seen construction materials scattered on the side of that apartment complex, by the bank, down the street from the mall. You've seen Caterpillar. You know Caterpillar is the big yellow forklift, construction equipment, machinery, one of the largest in the world, if not the largest in the world, construction equipment provider. So you've seen CAT. Now I have 8 questions for this show. Every episode, I'm going to break down the stock in 8 questions. I'm not going to get into anything too technical because I want you to do that research. I've done the research, and I'm going to share a lot of that research along the way, but most of that information is lost on people. A lot of it goes over people's head, and because they don't know enough about the market to get in, they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel safe, they never invest. I'm here to change all of that. I want everybody invested. So I'm going to answer these 8 questions. These 8 questions are the entry point for me. And of course, you can use them as the entry point for yourself. This is a free platform. These videos I don't have the option to charge for. But I'm going to give you these 8 questions. These are very simple, very baseline questions. And I want you to take these questions, take the company that I give you. You can apply these questions to other companies. You can apply these to different industries across the board, different sectors across the board. But I want you to look at these questions, apply these to, again, any company, and I want you to see if it's a good investment for you. Question number 1. How long has the company existed and when did they IPO? Well, I just said Caterpillar, 1925. That's when it was founded. IPO'd in 1929. Now, they have a compounded growth rate of, it says here, 8% since 1929, 12% since 2016. And it's a big company, so they've got a lot of money. They have access to over $27 billion in liquidity. Again, I want you invested in the market, so I want you to go look. What does liquidity mean? Search to see what liquidity has to do with a business, has to do with an organization, right? Question number 2. Is the company small, medium, or large cap? Pardon that. This is a large company. Obviously, they have over 100,000 employees worldwide. They are in the United States of America. They have some in South America. They are in various countries in Europe. They are bringing more of their equipment and materials to China now, and I do believe they are in various parts of Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, that corner of the map that you don't know that much about, and everything over there is just Australia, but they do have some business there. Question number 3. What is the current market cap? Well, the current market cap as of today is around $117 billion. Now, I wanted to know, more importantly, what of market cap, more important than market cap, what size of the market is the company, the market share, right? So if we have an electronic vehicle market, how much of that is this company? How much of that is this company? We have a home improvement market, right? We'll put that in, some of that is in consumer discretionary. Some of that is other stuff. We have an industrials market. How much of that market is Caterpillar? Well, and I have to give this, this large gap number because, it's really difficult to say. But the number ranges between 37 and 51%. Either one of those, in between either one of those numbers is massive. To have over a third of the market share. That means every piece of construction equipment, every piece of manufacturing equipment, 1 out of 3 of those, at least, is sold by Caterpillar. So imagine going to the grocery store and there are 500 brands of chips on the shelf. Your company, the company that you own, the company that is available to all, 1 out of every 3 bags sold goes to your company. That's money in your pocket. So you could have that tiny 4-foot space in the store, but you have over 1/3% market share. So that's incredible. That's amazing. There are Caterpillar's competition. Their market share next to that is nowhere near. But again, we're talking about Caterpillar. Caterpillar, 37 to 51%. It's expected to go up by 2026. There is an expected $20 billion that's going to be added to growth in the industrials sector of the market. So watch out for that. Question number 4. What is the company's debt? Well, today, and I'm going to say question 4 and 5, we're going to mix those. So the company's debt and then the company's revenue. So the company's debt is $37 billion. The company's revenue is $42 billion. Now, this is where I'll stop for future. I'm just going to go there. 4 is going to be the debt. 5 is going to be the revenue. There is a thing called the debt to equity ratio. How much money does the company have as compared with how much debt it has? Look that up. Find that up. If a company has more debt than more money than they make, right? Is it a good investment? Possibly. It depends, right? Is that debt long-term? Is that debt short-term? How much of their debt is long-term? How much of their debt is short-term? Okay. Me personally, when I invest, if a company has a good amount of long-term debt and a sizable, not so invasive amount of short-term debt within a year, then I may give that company a second look, right? A company that has $30 billion in long-term debt that's to be paid over the next 20 years is not necessarily a bad investment. I want to see how innovative the company is. Where are they going to be in 30 years? Are they still going to be in the market in the position they're in? Are they going to decrease? Are they going to get better? What's the company's morals, principles, and values? I want to know all of that before I invest in this company. But for now, we're just going to do number 4, the company's debt, $37 billion. Number 5, the revenue. Number 6, the company's master plan, if they have one at all. This is very important to me because I want to know that you see yourself 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the market. Because if you don't, if you just see yourself in the game to make a quick billion, hey, that's fine too, but I'm a long-term value investor. I want good companies. I want good leadership. I don't want quick turnaround. Oh, can I make my money back in a year? Can I make my money back? I want 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So I'm going to highlight in this channel industrials and materials, but I'm also going to promote and continue to push long-term investing. I'm not that familiar in options. At options, I am definitely learning, but it is something that I am nowhere near an expert in and wouldn't dare teach a class. Okay. Wouldn't dare post to YouTube my comfortability with options because I just don't have it yet. But I am here for long-term investing. 15 years from now, where is this company going to be? They have an open innovation model, Caterpillar does. So they have what they consider. I know that Caterpillar is working with a few companies now, artificial intelligence companies, to enhance the technology that they have. They're going to have to. These are going to be excavators and forklifts and mining equipment that's going to dig the material without a driver. So these are large pieces of equipment that have the capability of putting a human in the driver's seat. But Caterpillar said, hey, we're going to incorporate artificial intelligence so we can run our trucks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365/66 days out of the year. Okay. So we never have to stop production. We never have to stop mining. That definitely a good thing. Okay. So they have an open innovation. They are an open innovation company. They do have goals of operations. Their 2020 list. It does not include when that goal, that master plan, if you will, is going to be. It doesn't include when that's going to be finished, right? But they, by various outputs, so water waste and pollution reduction, they want to get rid of that by 50%. They did mention that on the website. Okay. So this is question number 7, but we're going to say 6/7 because 4 and 5 are put in the same question. So question number 6 is and this is going to change. This is the first template. I'm going to rearrange this format. These 8 questions are going to be tweaked a little bit. And then from here on out, these 8 questions are going to be, a solid, okay. The eight questions, pardon me, these 8 questions, solid, I'm keeping all of this. The 8 questions are going to be more compact, more condensed, because really I'm going to talk about the social and the political atmosphere as it relates to these companies. Where can these companies go in turn, right? With changing political and geographic environment, where can they go, right? Or changing political and social, not geographic. The earth is here; it's going to stay how it's going to stay. But where politically does that's really what I'm going to focus on heavy, and that's why I made that the last question. But question number 6, the practical use of these products. Well, Caterpillar has a huge brand. It's a huge brand. Name recognition everywhere. Whenever you think construction equipment, you think Caterpillar. So they're here. They're gonna be they're gonna be here. Caterpillar, I have a couple statistics here on the sheet, but they just secured more long-term debt 2020. And then they're going to be making some pivotal moves with AI going forward from here to now. But the practical use of these products, Caterpillar's here to stay. They're getting better with the manufacturing of their equipment. They're going to start to incorporate technology heavy in their equipment. So it's going to be great. They're going to have lots and lots of I personally believe Caterpillar is going to have amazing advancements in their company over these next few years, just because production now is ramped up. Everybody's ramping up production because we've figured ways to do that in the midst of any craziness in the market or anything crazy that happens in the world. So Caterpillar's here to stay. Question number 7. The popularity of the product as it relates to geography. Okay. China. Caterpillar is growing their business in China tremendously. As many companies are doing now. Electric vehicles are going over there. Construction manufacturers going over there. And again, the southern region of America, because demography is something that really, really, really fascinates me. The southern region in America, being Virginia down to Florida, across to Texas, not so much California, that region is going to see a population swell over the next few years. And I'm just going to transition right into question number 8, which is how socially and politically is the company going to be shaped by laws and regulations? So the population of 4 states in the United States of America, 4, is going to swell over the next 15 to 20 years like you haven't seen. This is going to include domestic migration. This is going to include natural birth. This is going to include people retiring to these areas, right? North Carolina, Florida, Texas, Georgia. Those 4 states over the next 15, 20 years are going to see the most increase in population of all the states in the country. As we know, the Northeast is emptying out down south. People are migrating west from the Midwest and south. And people on the west are migrating south, right? So you have this going, this going, this going, this going, right? The South is increasing tremendously in population. Natural birth, migration, retirement, so on and so forth. Environmental regulations might impact Caterpillar. They might, laws may get, they're definitely set to get stricter, and governments are going to begin to regulate pollution and water usage a whole lot more over these next few years. But I do feel good about Caterpillar being here because they're working with various technological companies and output, and these different outputs to see to it that they stay in the market. They're going to be working overtime now to secure their place in the future, because they're going to get into the emerging markets of China. They're going to get into that. Everybody's over there. Everybody's going to get into those markets. They're going to bring some of that revenue back here. A lot of people are working in Europe right now. They have amazing technologies there. So they're going to take some of that money, shift it there, and then they're going to bring their money here, again, to the southern states of the country. And you're going to build houses and highways, and they're going to be responsible for a lot of the building that happens here. That's Caterpillar, everybody. Again, invest, invest, invest. I will leave the rest up to you. I will keep these papers here for me. It's not for anybody else. I want everybody to do their own research. Again, this is just my personal opinion about Caterpillar. This is you got to pardon the ruffling of the papers, because I print them out and I put them up because it's very, very important that people understand that anybody can do. This is something that everybody can do. Invest in a company. Know your brands. This first episode is going to be the longest episode. I do not have plans to make videos this long, but I did want to get out there, show people I love industrials, I love materials. This is what I'm going to do on this channel. There are hundreds of industrials companies. So remember, it is never too late to put money in the market. Okay, you want to find good entry points. I thought that was the door. You want to find good entry points for good companies with good leadership that's innovative, that they understand value and they understand the market. Okay, there are 80 trillion and one reasons to invest. Pick one, jump in. CB2, I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next video.